This is 7-5 Radio with Walter Yerkew and Peter Scoop Stanton. This is the radio show that will break your neck if your neck needs breaking. And here are the hosts of 7-5 Radio, Walter Yerkew, star of the biggest documentary movie ever made, The 7-5, and Peter Scoop Stanton, who starred in To Catch a Predator.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, one and all. This is Peter Scoop Stanton live on 7-5 Radio with Walter Yerkew and Mike Rakebrandt. We are red hot rolling this Saturday, August the 30th, 2025. Yep, summer is over. Anyways, we want to say hello to all of our special listeners, including the men and women of New York's finest, New York's bravest, New York's boldest, New York's strongest, also those living on Long Island, especially in the 2nd Congressional District, as well as Little Billy Keebler and the men and alleged women of the Yandasis, New York Fire Department. Anyways, first order of business, we want to say hello to Walter. How are we doing tonight, my friend?
Doing pretty well, my friend. Doing pretty well.
Outstanding. Mike, how are we doing, sir?
Doing great, man. Thank you.
Outstanding. Anyways, check us out at number 75radio.org, the number 75radio.org. And we got special news. We do have a new sponsor. We have Bub's Naturals, which is a nutritional supplement company named after Glenn Bub Doherty, who was a former Navy SEAL, former CIA contractor who did sacrifice himself to protect others at the CIA annex in Benghazi, Libya, back in 2012. Anyways, second order of business, as always, we want to remember members of the law enforcement community who were murdered in the line of duty. Tonight we remember Police Officer Hunter Simone of the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, end of watch, August 26, 2025. His killer is in custody. Also, we want to remember Sergeant Lee Sorensen of the Tremont Garland, Utah Police Department, end of watch, August 17th, as well as Police Officer Eric Estrada of the Tremont Garland, Utah Police Department, end of watch, also on the 17th of August, 2025. His killer is in custody. And then Police Officer Suzanne O of the Maui County, Hawaii Police Department, end of watch, October 15th, 2025. Her killer is in custody. Anyways, tonight we have a couple of guests. Our first guest is Lisa Spoden, who is the vice chair and one of the founding members of We Will Survive Cancer, which is a charity for people at cancer survivors. I've been going to many fundraisers for this organization. These are very good people. We have certain friends of the show that come on the show and talk about it, but just very good organization. But anyways, coming up next Saturday, the 6th of September, there's actually a polo match between the U.S. and South Africa in Middleburg, Virginia. And not only is there a polo match between the U.S. and South Africa, there's also going to be a fashion show, and also 7-5 Radio will be broadcasting live. I will be there with our field producer, Ed Hubner, who will help us set everything up. Anyways, also besides being a vice chair and a founding member of We Will Survive Cancer, Lisa is also the wife of the captain of the U.S. polo team. But anyways, Lisa, how are we doing tonight, madam?
I'm doing great, thanks. And thanks for inviting me on your show.
Not a problem. Tell us a little about what's going on next week. We got a polo match and a fashion show, and then also a live broadcast of this awesome radio show, the most popular radio show at 10 p.m. on Saturday night.
Okay, great. Sure, I'd love to tell you about it. We actually have 3 matches. They're abbreviated matches of polo next Saturday. There's one that's the NFL and NBC Alumni Charity Cup, Celebrity Cup, and Then there will be a USA versus South Africa World Challenge Invitational, and then the third one is the IPT International Polo Tour Crypto Cup, which is a first. There's so many people getting into crypto, and we have some players that are into crypto, and they're going to play polo for us. So we have 3 teams, 3 matches, like I said, abbreviated matches. They'll be going on for a few hours, and then it's followed by a fashion show.
Outstanding. Lisa, who came up with the idea of like we're gonna have numerous polo matches and a fashion show? Who came up with that idea? Was it you or somebody else?
Well, I've been working with We Will Survive Cancer for almost 17 years now, and my husband got involved with We Will Survive Cancer when he married me about 11 years ago, and we've just been talking about ways to raise money for the organization and do fun things at the same time. And so we blended his love of the sport of polo and my expertise in putting together events, and we've come up with this special event next Saturday.
Outstanding. Now, what exactly is polo? Because I just see it as just like a field hockey on horses. Am I right, or is this something completely different?
No. That's a good way to describe it. It is polo. It's hockey on horses. And in the arena, which is a smaller base of operation, there are 3 players on each team, and they are going for the goal at each end of the stadium. Then there's also grass polo, which is on a much, much larger field, and that has 4 players on each team. But it's really fun to watch arena polo because you can see everything. You're right there. You're looking down on the stadium, and you can at all times you can see what's going on.
Okay, outstanding. Now, where can we get tickets? I mean, I do have a link at 75radio.org, but where else can we get tickets? You have like a box office, so next Saturday we show up, can we buy tickets, or if you buy them online?
Actually, you need to get tickets in advance. You need to make a donation to We Will Survive Cancer in order to get your tickets. It's going to be a private charity reception and polo exhibition. And so you need to get tickets in advance, and you can go to wewillsurvivecancer.org and get tickets that way. And, that's how you do it.
Okay, great. Or those members of my family who cannot read very well, or just go to 75radio.org, scroll down, and you'll see the link. Now, you have NFL players versus personalities from NBC? Is that NBC News or NBC shows?
Well, actually, the NBC personality was with the Real Housewives of D.C., and that is my husband, Tarek.
Oh, okay.
Salahi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have. Go ahead.
Who do you have for NFL players? Do you have current, former players, Hall of Famers?
Josh Norman and Tim Johnson both played for the NFL. Both are won the Super Bowls. Both have rings, and just really good guys. And it was interesting because last year Josh Norman was totally new to the sport, and he was on a horse, and he made it look easy, and it isn't easy. He's a good player. Tim Johnson's been playing for a while, and both guys will really give it their best, and provide really an entertaining game.
Outstanding. Now, you got I guess the main event is the USA versus South Africa. Now, I understand, the players are coming from South Africa. Are the horses coming from South Africa?
No. What happens is, in most cases, what happens is you go to the country and then you rent your horses from someone in that country. My husband plays a local role, and wherever he goes, like he was in Dubai and played with the Princess of Dubai, and he's played in England and played with King Charles and the boys, and you just rent your horses there. It's only the Sultan of Brunei is one of the only people who actually has his horses flown in for matches.
Wow. All right, we're coming to our first commercial break. We come back. I have a couple more questions for Lisa concerning the USA versus South Africa big polo event, fashion show, and live broadcast of 75 Radio. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
As you are aware, America is divided over every fault line possible. This is intentionally fostered by those who do not love God, family, or country. We believe a peaceful future as a free people absolutely depends on civility. Clarion Call for Civility is looking for funding and volunteers at every level to make our hopes and efforts a reality. Please donate, sign our pledge, and help us in our sacred cause. Please visit callforcivility.com for more details. Callforcivility.com.
How many times do I have to tell you?
I swear, it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Don't you understand English?
Your children are probably too polite to tell you.
Hello? Those things on the side of your head aren't turnips?
But they get just as frustrated when you won't listen to them as you do when they won't listen to you.
Do I need to speak slower?
In fact, few things show children how much they're valued and respected more than a parent's willingness to listen.
Tell me what you did at work today.
Studies show when parents listen, children develop better listening skills themselves. They also tend to have more self-confidence and are more likely to avoid alcohol and drugs.
Now sit down here and tell me all about it.
When you really listen, love is what they'll hear.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For more tips on strengthening your family, visit family.mormon.org.
Bypass the mainstream narrative with Liberty News Radio at libertynewsradio.com. Engage with charismatic hosts live or on demand. We cover the crucial news focused on God, family, and country. News that other networks simply refuse to use. Think of LNR's hard-hitting news and podcasts at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join us at libertynewsradio.com. Empower your day with the truth, because the truth will set you free. libertynewsradio.com.
You're back, and Scoop is just getting done staring at Danila's Instagram account. Here's more 7.5 Radio.
All right, we are back. Scoop staying with Walter Yerkew and Mike Rigbrandt. Our guest is Lisa Spoden from We Will Survive Cancer, talking about the polo match, fashion show, and live broadcast of 7.5 Radio next Saturday, the 6th of September, starting at 6 p.m. Lisa, one final question before I turn it over to my co-host. What is the dress code? Because I don't know if you've seen pictures of me on various social media, but I'm not the snazziest dresser by any means. I mean, I wear coveralls and a Led Zeppelin t-shirt. What should I wear, or what should gentlemen wear on the 6th of September?
Well, let's see. I would say cocktail chic. Anything from a sport coat to just a button-down shirt. The women will be wearing dresses, pantsuits. So it doesn't have to be all that fancy, but there's going to be dancing, and it is a little bit of a high-profile event. So you'll look great.
Outstanding. I'll leave the coveralls and Led Zeppelin shirt at home. Anyways, let me turn it over to my host. I'm sure they have a couple of questions for you and a couple of insults towards yours truly. Walt, you have any questions for our guest, Lisa, about this great charity event, which I will be attending?
Yeah, I do. The events, the polo games, are they what we used to call co-ed on the team?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are a lot of female polo players, and it's one of the only sports where male and female play together. And I don't believe that there is a female in this game, though there may be. Sometimes there's last minute switch outs of players. But polo is known for having really excellent female players, and it's very common to have male and female on the same team.
Wow, I did not know that.
How about Prince Harry? Is Prince Harry going to be involved? He plays polo.
He won't be involved in this one. Yeah, he does play polo. Yeah, he's a good player. My husband has played with him before, and he's a very spirited player.
Mm. And the fashion show afterwards, all female.
Mm-hmm. No, we'll have male models too. The fashion designer Miguel Wilson will be taking the reins and bringing his industry expertise in male suits. He designs male attire, and we will have males modeling. And then we have Marian Styles by Maria Torres, and she will be dressing some females, including a couple of beauty queens.
Can we get Scoop in on the runway?
I don't see why not. Scoop, would you do it?
I mean, of course you would.
Yep.
He'd either wear a suit or a dress, either one.
Okay. Well, let's
just
see
don't
now.
give him a long rifle.
Well, I mean, I look kind of silly in a dress, but if you guys, if the designer's got something for somebody that, my height and weight and proportion, then I'll be more than happy. Be kind of looking silly, just looking around. I was like, all right, just shrugging my shoulders, like, hey, what do I do next? Where do I go? And then, anyways, but if you want a non-celebrity male model, I'm your man. Walt, do you have any other normal questions for our guest?
No, I'm good with that. Thank you.
But you bring up a good fact. With horses, myself, I used to what they call play the ponies in different horse tracks in New York State.
Is there any play a male pony? That's for sure.
No, I used to place bets on horse races. Will there be any wagering for this event?
There will not be. No, we're not. We're not authorized to do that at this event, but there will be an auction. There'll be a silent auction. That's as close to that as we get.
Okay.
Silent auction. There'll be jewelry and some paintings and some really nice things that people can purchase.
Outstanding. Let me turn over to my other host, Mike Rigprant. Mike, do you have any questions for our guest, Lisa Spoden?
I just wanted to say, first of all, what a wonderful charity. That's a great thing that you're doing. It's really, really, really wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. We really pride ourselves in the fact that we're all volunteers. We don't pay. We have no one that we're paying to put this event on. It's all people, who work full time, who do the charity on the side, and 100% of the proceeds go to the patients and the families of cancer patients.
That's truly wonderful. It's a great organization, and polo is such a beautiful sport. It takes so much discipline and just skill to really be good at it. My daughter's an equestrian, and she plays. It's really beautiful sport. Very beautiful sport. Yeah. Really wonderful to watch. And as far as Pete on the runway, the horses are beautiful. As far as Pete on the runway, though, you might want to tell a designer, a paper bag might be in order for, just for the head up. You don't want to get distracted by the Frankenstein look.
Nice.
Oh my.
At the worst, Scoop can run around behind the horses with a shovel while they're playing.
Sure, you could definitely do that.
Lisa, welcome to 75 Radio. But Mike, do you have any
on
legitimate?
The
runway too. wait, what? The horse not going to be on the runway. The model's going to be on the runway. What
you'll be on the runway though, So many go behind you.
Take a shovel for yourself, then.
I mean, come on now, jeez. Lisa, again, welcome to 75 Radio. But Mike or Walter, do you have any other legitimate questions, comments, or concerns about this wonderful event that I will be attending and you won't?
Now, you said the horses can be rented from overseas. That's got to be expensive, or are they donated to come overseas? Because it's travel expensive, even with horses.
The horses, the players are coming at their own expense, and the horses are horses in Middleburg, where the event's going to be held, and they will just lease the horses for that.
Okay.
Yeah. It is an expensive sport, though. It is. It's been called the sport of kings, but more and more people are playing in it, and so I don't know if the costs are actually coming down, but more people are being exposed to it at least.
Outstanding. This will be my first polo match because, again, I'm used to going to like hockey games or the horse races at Saratoga or Belmont or Aqueduct or Yonkers. But anyways, once again, this is the Sunset Polo. U.S. is against South Africa, and also a fashion show on September the 6th, starting at 6 p.m. in Middleburg, Virginia. Once again, either go to We Will Survive Cancer. Was it .org or .com, Lisa?
.org.
.org, or go to our website, 75radio.org. That's the number 75radio.org. Scroll down where it says USA versus South Africa, because this network has a lot of connections to South Africa, what they've been going through the past 30, 40 years. So it should be a really interesting match. I'm really looking forward to it. I got other people from the show, not Walter and Mike, for obvious reasons. They'll show up drinking beer out of a brown paper bag, wearing coveralls and Led Zeppelin shirts. I will be properly attired, but again, it's going to be anything with We Will Survive Cancer will be an absolute blast. I've been to numerous events, and it's just absolute fun. A lot of people that we've had on the show, or people I hang out with on the show I mentioned, they're going to be there. They're going to have a good time. There's also another event in October I'm going to. But come out and have a good time. Or if you're just a really big fan of 75 Radio, I will be doing 75 Radio somewhere. Hopefully the music's not so loud I have to do it in the parking lot like I've done at other venues. But we got Ed Huebner coming. He'll make sure everything's good to go on Saturday. But Lisa, last couple seconds. You got anything else you want to say about this event, or We Will Survive Cancer?
Get your tickets now, because they won't be for sale at the door. It's a private event, and we're going to have a blast. So I would just encourage people to come on out and enjoy a beautiful evening in Middleburg. And the horses are gorgeous, and it's just so much fun to watch polo.
Outstanding.
It's all for a good cause.
Right. Now it's in Middleburg, Virginia. How far is that from Northwest D.C.?
About 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes. Depends on traffic. It's not it's not bad. It's a beautiful drive.
Outstanding. But anyways, all right, Lisa, I will see you next week, and everybody else. When we return, we will be talking about the situation in Minneapolis. We got TS Dixon coming up. Also, your call. Stay tuned, everybody. This is 75 Radio on Liberty News Radio Network. Take it, boys.
Proclaiming liberty across the land. You're listening to Liberty News Radio.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. President Trump is bypassing Congress and blocking billions of dollars in foreign aid already approved by lawmakers.
The president is using what's known as a pocket rescission, when a president submits a request to Congress to not spend approved funds toward the end of the fiscal year. He has told the House Speaker that he won't be spending nearly $5 billion in approved foreign aid. The president is essentially cutting the budget without going through the legislative branch. This rarely used procedure was last used by President Carter in 1977. Greg Clugston, The White House.
As the Trump administration boosts domestic energy production, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin says pipelines are the safest way to transport energy.
Why are we playing along with the hysteria of these NGOs, these environmental groups, trying to shut down all these pipeline projects? And instead you end up with, truck traffic that ends up being less environmentally friendly.
When it comes to producing energy, Lee Zeldin also says the United States is more environmentally responsible than China and many other nations.
We are much more concerned about the environment here in the United States, and we tap into our own energy supply much more environmentally friendly than so many other countries around the world.
Zeldin was interviewed on the Salem Radio Network. President Trump's immigration crackdown is facing formal resistance in Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson signed an executive order today that says Chicago police will not collaborate with federal agents on any joint operations, including civil immigration enforcement. Johnson also urged federal agents operating in Chicago to identify themselves to members of the public and to wear and use body cameras, as well as to refrain from wearing masks. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting outside, getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pains, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your life. Head over to ReliefFactor.com or give them a call at 800-4RELIEF and get their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Relief Factor is the daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by a team of doctors, it uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask the pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take Relief Factor, the more effective it is to get your days going without any pain. See if we get you out of pain by taking their 3-week quick start. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Simply call 800-4RELIEF. 800-4RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, neck, shoulders, hips, knees, don't let it keep you from living the life you want to live. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF.
Cybercrime is exploding. Take Sarah from Sweet Delights, whose world crumbled after having to close with not being able to bounce back. Small businesses are prime targets, but the right strategies can keep yours safe. Jay Hill, CEO of Network Providers, has co-authored The Cyber Playbook Simplifies Cybersecurity for Business Owners with Strategies to avoid costly breaches and fines. Build a strong cyber attack response. Secure your business with key protections. Cyber threats aren't slowing down, but you can stay ahead. Protect your business. Ensure its security for tomorrow. Get the Cyber Playbook today at networkprovidersinc.com/cyber-playbook or call 385-446-5500 now.
Introducing Managed IT Services from NPI. We offer top-notch data backup and recovery, email spam protection, and network security tailored to your needs and budget. With 20-plus years of experience in the medical field, our HIPAA-certified consultants know what it takes to protect sensitive information. Don't settle for less. Give us a call at 801-706-6980 and experience the difference with Managed IT Services. Remember, your IT support should be fast, efficient, and reliable.
Introducing PrepStartsNow.com, your ultimate guide to readiness and peace of mind. We offer practical preparedness tools, training, and education to take your family's household readiness to the next level. Browse the prep shop for essential products, check out our planning guides, and stay informed with our prep blog. Visit PrepStartsNow.com and subscribe to our emails for exclusive offers, new products, and future events. Remember, preparedness begins with PrepStartsNow.com.
you're still listening, here's more 7.5 Radio.
And we are back, 7.5 Radio, red hot rolling, the 30th of August, 2025. Now we have a second guest on the air, TS Dixon, the author of The Woke Mind Virus, also here with Walter and Mike. I wanted to bring TS on about a more serious subject. Lisa was a great guest, but this something really was gut-wrenching for all of us because, I mean, we are fathers, we're grandfathers of kids. Also, we're all Roman Catholic, but the events in Minnesota was just something, again, just something totally disgusting. But first, I want to talk about the mayor of Minneapolis, and I'll leave it to Walter, Mike, and TS to give their opinion about the incident. But Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey was talking to the people of Minneapolis, the families of those who lost their kids, those who were family members who were the family members of those who were injured in the church because this disgusting human being took away two beautiful children in God's house. So Mayor Frey, instead of comforting the families, the parish, offering a prayer, thoughts of words of condolences, a promise to make sure that all houses of worship in Minneapolis will be safe. The Minnesota police, any other authorities will make sure that houses of worship will be protected from those who wish to do people harm. He didn't do that. Instead, he used the media and to talk about hate towards the transgender community. Now, the person who did this horrific crime was transgender, so he wanted to condone those who's going to villainize the transgender community. He didn't want to talk about giving condolences towards the Catholic community, the families who lost loved ones, families who have loved ones in the hospital. But he had to make sure that there's no hate towards the transgender community, which is a very, very small community. So Mayor Frey just totally dropped the ball. His head is up his backside. Meanwhile, this is the same mayor who let his city burn, including a police station. So I think he's a disgusting human being and doesn't know his head from a hole in the ground. Anyways, Tia, since you're the first, you're our guest. What's your thoughts on the situation in Minneapolis?
Hey, Pete, thanks for having me on the show again. Yeah, I mean, it's a tragic and disgusting event that took place, and the reaction to these leftist officials that they're displaying on display for the world to see is repulsive and vile. But it just goes into their ideology. They all practice a political religion, and what this young man did, this criminal, this coward did, was to play out the scenario that he was taught and indoctrinated with, along with probably strong psychotic drugs, and obviously this, hormone therapy that has severe mind-altering, emotion-altering effects. And, the basic idea that they all practice is that there are oppressors and oppressed. There's to create class warfare, and that gays and transgenders and bisexuals and whatnot are part of this new proletariat, this new oppressed minority, and that the dominant majority, white, Christian, Anglo-Saxon, and what have you, European majority, that they're the villains. They're the new bourgeoisie. They're the source of all the ills of society. They're the ones holding down and oppressing everyone. This is the woke mind virus. This is their teaching. And so, of course, when this coward, this vile criminal, goes after these defenseless, innocent children, and then turns the gun on himself, as a coward would, they cannot come to the defense of the Catholic children because, again, in their storyline, in their ideology, those are the oppressor. They're born to become racist oppressors and to dominate society. And in this LGBTism, they don't believe that children are born heterosexual or male and female naturally. They believe that this is a social construct, that the church in European society and capitalism is driving down the social constructs onto these kids, like the shooter. So, of course, they see the shooter, the murderer, as the victim, and the children and their families in the church as the bad guys, the villains and the oppressors. And they just can't get out of their own head. They have the virus.
Right. You're absolutely right. Brilliant. Well, what say you about this shooting in Minneapolis that just took 2 wonderful lives and just destroyed a parish?
Well, this has been baking for quite a long time. You know, this guy was 23 years old. His mom took him to court when he was 17, changed his name to a female, male/male name. You know, it's been in the oven for a long time cooking, and I believe that most of the shootings that are done by these transgenders, well, by anybody, but pretty much by the transgenders, it's been baking for a long time. The one in last January in Nashville, in Tennessee, same thing. You know, it's not going to end. It's another chapter or another paragraph in the chapter of school shootings and such. Can they be stopped? No, I don't think so. You can do all. If somebody that's a lunatic, okay, and lunatics can be very smart people. They take their time. They write down what they want to do. They get their weapons. They have their plan. This guy went to this school when he was a kid, and his mom was a teacher there. So why he attacked, nobody will ever know. You know, he could say he was confused. He was upset that he went for the transgender thing, you know, in his manifest nonsense. But that's a lunatic talking. You know, it's not like somebody sitting opposite a psychiatrist and telling his story, why he shot these people up, or why he was about to shoot people up. You know, they say that they're confused in their death letters, in their suicide letters. But hell, you know, people out there listening, if you're confused, talk to somebody first. You know, stop this horror. Two children, you know, 17 wounded, 3 adults wounded. You know, it turns the world upside down. This makes headlines, you know, across the globe. You know, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, and especially in Minnesota with that knucklehead as a governor, standing there embracing and putting tampons in the bathrooms and stuff in case there's a male transgender wants to stuff himself. It's just adding fuel to the fire. When you know, if they're going to be who they're going to be, that's fine. Be who they're going to be. But now they want to put, you know, the tampons and say they could use them in different ways. Even Walt said he used a tampon and he felt comfortable. You know, what a moron.
Mike, anything you want to add to the? You want to piggyback to Walter's awesome analysis?
Absolutely. I mean, it's first of all, thank you, TS, for being on. And the book is amazing, by the way. If you haven't read The Woke Mind Virus, you really need to read that book. It's truly amazing. As far as this lunatic in Minnesota, you know, you've seen a lot of these recently over the last couple of years. You know, for such a very, very small segment of American society has conducted a very, very high proportionally ratio of the mass shootings we've seen. Well, I think it's a couple of things that play into that. I mean, the woke mind virus is definitely right there, front and center. But I think behind that, and what kind of enables this violent, like lashing out by them, is the over-medication and the, you know, just a distortion of the fact that this is, you know, that this is somehow normal for them. Like, this is not normal. It's body dysmorphia. It's completely a mental illness. You know, these are not healthy, normal people. These are disaffected, youth and people that are being told it's okay to feel the way they do and having all these negative thoughts and these honestly conflicting thoughts being reinforced by, so-called people in power or in authority, and then being medicated to a point with drugs that are extremely disruptive to the hormone balances in the brain. It's a recipe for disaster. And I think we're seeing the culmination of that. So I think Walter's right. That's been brewing for a long time,
Right. Anyways, we're just scratching the surface. We come back, we'll talk about my thoughts about mental health in these people. Also, we were right again, and of course, we are pioneers in the social media empire. Stay tuned, everybody. This is 75 Radio on Liberty News Radio Network.
Former Sheriff Richard Mack recounts in his book The Proper Role of Law Enforcement how he came to realize while working as a beat cop how wrong the all-too-common orientation of police officers is when they think of their job as being to write tickets and arrest people. Richard Mack tells of his personal transformation from by-the-number cop to Constitution-conscious defender of citizen safety and freedoms. Learn what it really means to serve and protect. Purchase your copy at CSPOA.org. That's CSPOA.org.
Can a nation conceived in liberty carry its head high if it denies protection to the youngest and most vulnerable of its citizens? Can a country founded on God-given rights continue to thrive without understanding that life is a precious gift from our Creator? As a physician, I have looked into the eyes of 1-pound babies. I have cradled their small bodies in the palm of one hand. I defy those who are careless, who would disregard life and look at these tiny little miracles and say, we're not going to protect that. But I believe there will come a time when we are all judged on whether or not we took a stand in defense of all life from the moment of conception until our last natural breath. One thing I promise you, I will always take a stand for life.
Get ready to be part of something incredible. We're breaking barriers and delivering the powerful stories that mainstream media won't touch. Your support is what fuels our mission to revolutionize journalism and bring you the truth. Join our passionate community of changemakers by donating at libertynewsradio.com today. Together, we're creating the future of news.
This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yuku. Walter Yurkow. Walter Kiwi. Here's Walton Scoop.
And we are back. Scoop Stand with Walter Yurku and Mike Rigband and our guest TS Dixon. And during those very important commercials, I was doing my due diligence and looking at the Instagram account of our spokesmodel, the lovely Danila Rodrigues. Please follow her at DanilaRodrigues.model. Just some of these pictures. Oh, goodness grief. Anyways, back to a story about this disgusting human being in Minneapolis. Here's some things about the transgender community that they don't want to mention. Transgender people are more likely to show signs of a mental health condition. 25% of transgender individuals have an annual house income less than $25,000. 37% of transgender say they've been physically threatened or harmed. 71% experience discrimination. And then they have transgender people have higher suicide rates, and they have higher rates of psychosis. This is not Scoop Stanton checking out 75radio.org. This is from Mental Health America at mhanational.org. But anyways, these people do have a mental problem, but mainstream media does not want to talk about it. Anyways, moving right along, let's talk about the We Were Right Again file. Washington, D.C., crime has gone down significantly because of the influx of law enforcement from different federal agencies and the National Guard. Washington, D.C. went 12 days without a murder. Unfortunately, day 13, somebody lost their lives, but hey, 12 days in Washington, D.C. without a murder. And we said this will work, and it did work. TS, what do you say about the influx of federal agents protecting the people of Washington, D.C.?
Well, I think it's a beautiful thing. I wish Trump had done something like this during the Summer of Love riots in his first term, but I understand he had some different advisors. But now that he is taking this first step in D.C., I think he's starting to realize on this sort of trial run case that the people love it, especially minority communities love it because they're living in crime-ridden areas. And it's like living in a curse, being exposed to that and living under the constant threat of danger and criminal activity and intimidation. So, he is demonstrating he's the president of law and order. And if he repeats this in other cities like Chicago or LA or others or New York, where similar things are happening due to the leftist administrations, he's just going to continue to demonstrate that the Trump era of the Republican Party is the party of law and order in justice, in a justice system, and where he has law enforcement's back, and he's looking out for the people to stop crime, where it just shows black and white that the Democrats have become the party of crime, criminal activity, destabilization, and anti-law enforcement.
Outstanding. Mike, what say you about Trump cracking down on crime in D.C.? Did we call it or did we call it?
I can't have to agree with TS. I wish he would have done it during the Summer of Love with those riots. But honestly, it's great to see, and I think it just goes to show that he's been right this whole time, and he's still right, and he's showing that exactly what we said all along, that this is all a problem of bad governance, not bad people necessarily, but just bad governance.
Right. Well, anything to add to Mike or TS?
The Dawn is getting a lot of backlash on this. From the cities, especially Chicago, that knucklehead up there. And Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, instituted the National Guard in the subway systems earlier this summer. Not a peep from the left on how horrible it is to have the National Guard patrol the subways and such. Donald Trump does it in our capital, and he gets nothing but grief. And like I said, homicides are down 100%. Until recently. There's going to be crime no matter who's walking the street. But, let the National Guard do what the National Guard is supposed to be. Guard us nationally and, from within. You got people complaining that they got the National Guard picking up trash in the parks. Well, they got to be spending money on National Guard picking up trash. Well, if you animals wouldn't throw the garbage on the ground, they wouldn't have had to pick it up to begin with. So that being said, the National Guard is covering a lot where they are. And people just aren't used to being safe. And some of them just don't want it. They want the horrors because they have nothing else to talk about.
Right. Well, we talked about a couple weeks ago. What's his name? Joe Scarborough came on the air and said his liberal friends in D.C., they like the fact that Trump is getting rid of crime in D.C., but they can't say it on the air or on social media or on their whatever platform they have because they look bad because the anti-Trump crowd. But again, these people are crazy. Anyways, another crazy story real quick. Monday at 6 a.m. in downtown Baltimore, you had a bunch of leftist kooks at a rally for the man from El Salvador, Kilmar Garcia, who's an illegal alien gangbanger with extensive criminal record. So they came there for a rally for him in downtown Baltimore. This is really significant for a number of reasons. Besides the obvious, in December of 2021, Baltimore police officer Kenola Holly was murdered while sitting in her RMP in Baltimore, Maryland. And none of these yahoos that went to this Kilmar Garcia rally stood up for Officer Holly, who was a mother of 4, protecting the city of Baltimore. She joined the force after the Freddie Gray disaster that's burned Baltimore, and she remained on the force during the Summer of Love with George Floyd after Baltimore burned once again. So legal alien gangbanger, these leftist people will come out of the woodwork, but a police officer, a mother of four, doing the right thing for her family, murdered in the line of duty by two mutts, nothing. But it's not surprising because most of these people don't live in Baltimore anyways, because as Walter says, most of them are white-bread America. TS, what say you about nobody rallying against a fallen police officer, but everybody's rallying around a illegal alien gangbanger?
It just goes back to their core. They all practice a political religion that all stems from Marxism. And so, again, they cannot help but see the entire world and the American system as unjust, unfair, racist, homophobic, exploitation of the poor, of women, of minorities. And it's all being done by this other group of the majority. And so they just cannot help themselves. And even, you have a female police officer, mother of four, but what is she? She's part of the system. She is working for the system. She is serving in law enforcement and trying to, have peace and justice and whatnot. So again, she's part of the oppressive group. And so they can never see someone like that as a sympathetic character. But Abrego Garcia, he's a minority. He's an illegal alien. And so they are taught he's part of the new proletariat. He's part of the victim class. He's being exploited and oppressed by us, essentially. And so they've got to rally because they exist. The liberal means to liberate, to be a white savior, to come in with your cape and your mask and save these oppressed victims. And so that's their whole purpose. And so they can't help themselves. They see this illegal alien. They are blind to the fact he's a criminal, human trafficker, wife beater, any of that. No, he is a victim, and we are superhuman liberal saviors here to save him. So, of course, they're going to show up for him, but not for the heroic police officer. Of course not.
Outstanding. Well, what say you about 30 seconds?
Man, this guy Kilmore, he's much yesterday's news. It's these left-wingers that are trying to keep him up in the news. I don't think the rest of America really cares anymore. You just got a handful of idiots there in Baltimore that, want their 15 minutes of fame just to say that they were there. In 20 years, they want to say that they were there in 2025. That's it. Nothing else, because they're not getting anything else out of it besides looking stupid on camera.
Right. But anyways, real quick, before the music starts playing, this week, you had an ICE agent holding a illegal alien for deportation, wearing some tight pants, turning away from the camera, showing her derriere. But I like to say we did it first, because back in October 2023, there's a picture of yours truly with Officer Danila Rodrigues where she collared me for indecent exposure. So what you don't see in the picture is some brass knuckles in the left hand in case I get mouthy. So anyways, kudos to us for having sexy law enforcement officers putting dirtbags in jail. Mike, any comments about our... Oh, anyways, disregard, Mike. Unfortunately, we're out of time. For Mike Rakebrant, Walter Yerkew, our guest, TS Dixon, this is Peter Scoop Stanton reminding you, you can make a difference. Go out and make it. See you next week, everybody.
James Edwards for 7-5 Radio. For those who work the streets and the jails, thanks for keeping us safe. So long, everybody.